Hello friends, in this video we are going to see what is centripetal force. Now in the last video we have seen about a particle that is moving in a circular motion, in a uniform circular motion, right? So let this particle be P moving in an uniform circular motion about a point O with radius r with uniform speed v. Now we have seen that this particle experiences an acceleration towards the center of the circle. Now who provides for this acceleration? There must be some force or an external agent that causes the body to have an acceleration, and that external agency is called centripetal force, right? So we can write centripetal force as the force which causes centripetal acceleration. Now, what is the measurement of this force? We have seen from the earlier video that centripetal acceleration is given by A centripetal equal to v square by r, where v is the speed of the particle exhibiting uniform circular motion. So F centripetal is simply mass times mass of the particle P times this acceleration, which is m times v square by r. Simple. And this force is directed towards the center of the circle, that is towards O. Fine. So now this centripetal force can be many things, like this can be the tension of a string, or it can be the gravitational force. If this center is the sun and this P is the planet Earth, then the gravitational force accounts for the centripetal force, right? If we are suppose we are hurling a stone using a string in the air, then the tension in the string accounts for the centripetal force. So there are a variety of examples. So now let us see few problems related to circular motion. So the first one is that suppose a ball of mass m is tied with a thread with the ceiling, and this ball makes circular movements like this in the same plane, right? In this plane it makes some circular motion. Then we are asked to find the tension of the string, right? Now suppose this angle is theta. Fine. So this t sine theta, that is the vertical component, accounts for the gravitational force of mass m acting on mass m, right? So it is clear if we draw the free body diagram. This T, this mg, and this angle is theta. Fine. This mass m. Now we can write t sine theta equals to mg, which is equation number 1, and t cos theta, that is the vertical component, the horizontal component of the tension. This horizontal component of the tension accounts for, or this provides the force, this acts as the centripetal force, right? This causes the body of mass m to move in this circle. So we can write this as m v square by r. Now what is r? R is nothing but, this is L and this has to be L cos theta, right? Or let it for the timing be r only, right? So we can write that tan theta equal to gr by v square. Therefore t equal to mg by sin theta. We can easily get sin theta from here, and if we put that, we get the value of tension. Correct? Now this was a very simple example of uniform circular motion. We have to see some further examples so that we can tackle the problems easily. So let's see another problem. Now the next problem goes like this. Suppose there is a table, okay? There is a table and there is a hole in the middle of the table. Now through this hole a string passes, correct? There is a string. Now one end of the hole, that is the one end of the string that is above the that is on the table, is attached with a mass of small m, right? And the other end of the string that is hanging is attached with a mass of capital M. Correct? So this has some, table has some legs. Now it is given that a portion R of the string lies on the table, right? So this length is R, correct? Now we are asked to find the minimum velocity v, minimum speed rather, with which if the mass undergoes uniform circular motion on the table, it would not fall down, right? This mass would remain in equilibrium, that is, this mass will not fall down through the hole. Okay, so how to do this? Now first, only thing that we can do this here, Okay, one thing that I forgot to mention is that every surface is frictionless. Correct? So let's draw the free body diagram of the ball of mass small m. We see that the only force that is acting is the tension of the string, and this tension provides for the centripetal force. So we get is T equals to mv square by r. This is equation number 1. Again, if we draw the free body diagram of capital M mass, write this. We get this tension, and this is capital Mg. So again T equals to capital Mg, right? Now if we equate this, we simply get capital Mg by M into R. Square root of this is equals to our V mean. So that's the answer. Correct? Now let us see another problem. So the another problem is like this. There is a car which is approaching an obstruction, right? And the coefficient of friction between the wheels of the car and the ground is mu. Correct? Now this car has a mass of capital M and is moving with a speed of V, right? So the car has to keep moving with the speed of V. It cannot, by some means, the decelerator of the car, the brake of the car has failed. So speed will remain the same. Correct? So the only way for the car to escape the destruction of collision is to come here and go around in this path. Correct? So what is the minimum distance from the wall, from the obstruction, that it has to take a turn, start taking a turn, right? Now if you see, this is a circle. So in this path of its journey, the particle will exhibit circular motion, uniform circular motion, right? Now let this distance be d. Correct? So we can write, now mind you, the friction from the ground will provide the centripetal acceleration in this case, right? So we can write F equal to m v square by d. Now since d has to be minimum, so f has to be maximum. This is equation number 1. Now what is f max? Maximum value of friction can be mu times mg, right? Mu times normal reaction from the ground, and the normal reaction from the ground is mg. Okay, so if we equate them, we get mg, mu mg equal to mv square by d. M cancels out and we get v equal to square root of mu gd. Oh, we have to find d mean, right? So sorry, d mean equal to v square by mu g. Correct? So that's all from this video. I hope you like it, and in the next video we are going to see about we are going to talk about pseudo force, and then we would start energy, mass and momentum, energy, momentum and conservation of energy and all that. Before that we would also take up few problems of uniform circular motion, and that's it from this video. Hope you liked it. Goodbye.